Tomato, whatever, we're making wine. This is another one of those things I said I would never do, but I'm doing it. Why?
Because I'm a Trixie Hobbitses.
Yeah, she convinced me to do it.
Okay, we have what I think to be 3.5 pounds of tomatoes. They are frozen.
To the bowl. Yeah, they really
They're
are.
a solid mass, so we're gonna weigh them just to be sure.
No, we didn't defrost them. Why? Because we didn't think ahead. That's why. That's the honest truth. But they came out of the bowl about 3.5 pounds. Yeah, like an ounce shy of 3.5 pounds. So 3.5 pounds of tomatoes. What did you do to prepare them though?
I washed them with water.
Yeah.
No chemicals. And then I cut them on a cutting board in quarters and then decided that wasn't enough. And so I divided those quarters in half. So that would technically be
eighths.
Eighths or sixteenths?
Eighths.
Quarters.
Quarters in half makes eighths.
Okay.
Eighths in halves makes sixteenths.
All right.
Okay, to this, we're gonna add 2 pounds of plain old white sugar. And if anyone's concerned that the tomatoes are still frozen, here's what's gonna happen. Within a day, it's gonna be room temperature because we're gonna be putting water in here and mixing it all up. It's fine.
The water that I've prepped is warm tap water. So it is warm. That'll help a little bit, not tremendously, but
within a day or so, it'll be up to room temperature and the yeast will be happy. Nothing to worry about. We're using 2 pounds of sugar because, well, there's just not a lot of sugar in tomatoes. And if 2 pounds sounds like a lot to you, what you have to remember is each pound of sugar in a roughly gallon of must, which is about what we're making, we're actually gonna be making slightly over a gallon, is about 46 points of gravity. So this should start with like a 1.092 or so, 1.094 starting gravity, which is less than, say, 13% alcohol. Because remember, you want the sugar to ferment. So this is not like overly sweet or anything like that. A couple people have gotten that kind of confused. They wonder why you're adding sugar to things. Well, because that's what ferments. It makes the alcohol.
it's time for some water. We have 112 fluid ounces.
Which is like 3.5 quarts. Just poured in. It's sort of thawing some of the tomatoes. Yes, in a perfect world, you would want to thaw your tomatoes. We weren't sure when we were gonna get to do this video, so today it is. Also, because I know somebody's gonna ask, what if we puree the tomatoes? What if we put them in a food processor? All sorts of things. You could do any or all of those things if you really want to, but here's the thing. Yeast literally evolved breaking down fruits as they fell from trees and things like that. They're gonna get to it. We gave them a good chance here by cutting them and freezing them, because as you freeze them, the cell walls burst from the water freezing, and then when they thaw, they get all goopy and the cells collapse and fall apart.
Also, you're probably wondering what type of tomatoes we used. Well, these were ripened on the vine tomatoes,
Yep.
whatever those are.
They were cheap.
They're roundish. They're have a more liquidous part than Romas. Romas
Yeah.
are very
They're not as fleshy as Romas.
yeah, but they're not as juicy as like a full-on beef steak.
Right. All right. Now I got to mix this up. It's going to make a lot of noise. The island of tomatoes is kind of breaking up though. And I don't mind if they get smashed a little. I mean, that's fine. There's going to be a lot of pulp and detritus in this one. That's right. Pulling out the 50-cent words today.
I
I don't know why. Just kind of sounded like the right thing to say. Watching tomatoes floating around in a wine. I still have a tough time saying that without going, you know, it's a visceral reaction.
Ye who made mushroom garlic mead.
Yeah, because people told me to.
Not the garlic, that was all you.
Nope, I looked it up. People do it. It's a thing. Granted, no one asked me to do it with garlic. I will admit that. So this is tame by comparison then. This is nothing.
We're not putting garlic in this.
No, let's not. That stunk so bad. It still stinks out here because it's just right over there. Due to the fact that there's basically ice cubes in here now, it's quite cold and hard to mix.
Something we didn't take into consideration as far as our process, we're probably not going to get an accurate gravity reading.
Well, accurate-ish. Oh, by the way, everything that we're using here, all the materials, the bucket, the spattle, not the tomatoes, but everything else was sanitized in.
The red bucket of sanitization!
It's a very important step, okay? And what we mean by that is we have Star San and water mixed in a 10-gallon, I was saying 15-gallon, but it's actually like a 10-gallon tub over on the side. And we leave stuff in it for about 2 minutes. It is mixed to the manufacturer's suggestion, by the way, because you only need like a capful for that much. It's really, really cool. And we leave things in there for 2 minutes to fully sanitize, and then we use them to make brews. I'm still hearing scratchies, which means sugar in the bottom of my bucket. So what I've been told about tomato wine is it tastes kind of like a dry white wine after a while. How long is a while? I don't really know. I think we're going to find out, though.
Do you want to put a tilt in this one as
Yes. I have a brand new tilt over on the side over here. Haven't used this
well?
one
The
yet.
green tilt.
The green tilt.
That is appropriate for tomatoes.
Yeah, because this will probably come out around Christmas time. Now, I use the tilt in an unconventional way. I actually have it hooked up to an iPad and my cell phone in the other room. My cell phone's in this room, iPad in another room. And I just monitor them. I don't really like log them or anything like that because I don't find that to be necessary. I use it mostly as just a, oh, how's the tomato wine doing? Oh, still got some ways to go. That's literally how I use them, but I still rely on a hydrometer reading for a couple of reasons. One, not everybody has a tilt, and if you're following along at home and you don't have a tilt and you do have a hydrometer, which I hope you have a hydrometer, you can still do that. And I'm comfortable with using the hydrometer. I trust the readings as much as I can trust any hydrometer reading. And, that's the story.
Speaking of readings.
Let's take one. Like I said before, I'm guessing this to be probably somewhere around a 1.090, but tomatoes added quite a bit of liquid. They're going to add a little bit more. So they're going to dilute this over time too, which is kind of an interesting thing. But we also have about 1.5 gallons in here right now. So yeah, everything's an approximation. It's all good. Got some pulp. It's pulpy. See, those tomatoes are breaking down, falling apart. Don't need to food process them,
I'm
trust me.
actually more excited about this than I was the...
Me too, because I don't think it's going to stink nearly as bad. Yeah, like I said, we have a little bit over a gallon, so it's 1.082 starting gravity. Not too bad. Sample can go right back in. Now, tomatoes do have a strong amount of pectin in them. And adding pectic enzyme at this stage can help break down the pectin so that it'll clear later, but it can also help get a little bit more out of the tomatoes. So I do have some pectic enzyme here. This is optional. You don't have to use this if you don't want to. But I'm just going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon of pectic enzyme just to help break things down. We may do other adjustments later, but for now, I want to see how the tomatoes ferment because I've never actually fermented tomatoes before. What do we got to do now?
We've got to put something in here that's going to eat that sugar or convert that sugar.
Right. And for that, we have chosen Red Star Premier Blanc yeast. Why? Because when I looked it up, the internet said this is the one to use, other than EC1118.
Yeah, and then another recipe suggested a cider yeast.
Yeah.
So it's the full gamut here based on what your personal preferences are. We chose this one because...
It's a strong performer, usually pretty high ABV, which that's not really a problem here. We're only looking for like 12 or 13%. It's also good with fruity flavors and things like that. It's a good wine yeast all around. This packet should do up to 5 gallons. Today, half a packet is going to do 1 gallon because that's just how we do things. You could use the whole packet if you want to. I wouldn't go less than half though, because you want to make sure that you get a viable colony of yeast when you do this. So in order to do that, you need at least half that packet because quite a bit of what's in here is already dead. Okay, they're going to act as a nutrient of sorts for their buddies because yeast are very cannibalistic. But this rest of this packet, I'm gonna fold it up, stick some tape on it, put it in the freezer.
All right, there's the tilt.
All right, it's been sanitized. It's a little warm right now, so it's probably not gonna be too accurate for a little while. I'm just gonna nestle it down in here. Oh yeah, the tomatoes are they've fallen apart at this point. They are no longer one homogeneous mass. We're gonna put on the lid. And, oh, it's sort of sealed, but I think I need the Haas. That is the hammer of superior sealing. And just beat the crap out of your seal a little bit. I like it because it's fun. Our neighbors are probably wondering what the heck is going on, but they make funny noises all the time too.
All right.
And we're gonna leave this alone for a couple of weeks. Let it do its thing. I will come out and give it a swirl. By swirl, let me show you what I mean. Every day or so, I'll just come out and kind of do this for about 20, 30 seconds. If it hits the lid, I overdid it, okay? I'm just mixing it up a little bit to make sure that fruit stays wet. That's all you're doing. And once it starts to slow down, once my tilt tells me that it's almost done, I'll be back to show you what to do next. Okay, so this has been going for 12 days as of today. However, I know because I had a tilt in there that it was done like a week ago. This is crazy. So we're gonna open this up, take a look inside. I have been giving it a bit of a swirl nearly every day. I didn't today because I knew we were gonna be doing this. All right, looking inside, it looks fine. I see a lot of tomatoes. You can see the tilt right there. It looks like an eyeball. See, we have eyeballs this time looking at us. But what I did notice right off the bat, little bit of a sulfury smell. Not too bad though. It smells like tomatoes.
Yeah,
We've been doing these weird things lately, and you know what? They're not as weird as you might think. I think though we're gonna take this guy out of here, the tilt, and we'll just toss it into turbos to clean it up.
Okay.
Please. It's time to take a check on this because it looks like it's probably done, and it's clear and everything.
Yeah.
Well, it was clear. I just gunked it up.
It's all right.
Because there's lots of like broken tomato bits floating around. But see, look at that. Totally clear. According to the tilt, it was at like 0.988 or something like that. So I'm assuming it's very done. 0.988. Let me just do something with the calculator teacher said I would never have handy. It was sitting right here. This started at 1.082 minus 0.988. That means it went through 94 points of gravity. I was just curious what yeast we used. It was Premier Classique. Times 131.25. Gives us 12.3%. I'm calling this 12%. In 12 days, 12% from tomatoes.
But the tilt said it probably did it in like 3.
Yeah, it was probably, we could have done this last week. Okay, we should rack this because it's done. And I don't want to leave it on these tomatoes anymore. That can cause mold growth.
So what vessel do you want to rack this to?
We're going to, that's a really good question.
Whatever vessel we have available.
I think if we have a 1 gallon narrow mouth, that would be ideal.
All right.
And we're going to use the rumble jar because there's just a whole bunch of little gunk in there.
Okay.
As we always do, we do not necessarily dump the sample back into here because it'll just make a mess. So I'm going to pour it into the destination vessel. By the way, we didn't have a narrow mouth 1 gallon, so we're using a wide mouth 1 gallon. There is a slight size difference, but you know, I'm okay with it. Size doesn't always matter.
Rumble jar, because we got goop.
We got lots of goop. But I'm keeping the cap on. Now, to use the rumble jar, basically, okay, let's talk about this for a second. Rumble jar is really meant for making cold brew coffee. Now, there's also like hop filters and stuff like that that people use to do this, that they work just as well. This, we just happen to have them. I don't have a hop filter or whatever they call it, so I use this. But we also will have a link to this in the description below. But the easy way to use this is you just put your auto siphon in it and then kind of nestle it down in there about halfway, get it started, and it looks like water.
It has, the rumble jar has micro perforations, which is going to keep the goop out and let the liquid pour through.
Yeah.
We used to use cheesecloth, and the cheesecloth gooped up quite readily and caused a buildup so that the suction got broke. So the rumble jar just makes it so easy.
Now, I would imagine the rumble jar could get that buildup too, but it might be easier to rub it off with a spatula or something.
Right, and because we have a more surface area to have the liquid pass through, I don't think it's as much of an issue.
Yeah, it just works. But look at how clear that is.
Yeah.
It looks like there's nothing in there. That's amazing. People say this is very much like a white wine. I see where they're coming from. It looks like a white wine. By the way, I'd like to point out the sulfury smell that I thought I smelled before. It's not sulfury smell. It's more just like almost like if you've ever cooked a really acidic tomato sauce, that's kind of what it smells like. Yeah, it's not really sulfury.
It's not offensive at all.
No. It's very mild too. You have to get right up in there to smell it. This is interesting. I love it when we do like weird stuff and it turns out to be not so weird. Makes me want to make all kinds of stuff. I want to make artichoke wine now.
Are there fermentable sugars in artichokes?
I don't know. How about carrots?
Okay, there should be fermentable
Oh, we're
sugars.
supposed to do something with pumpkin.
Yeah.
Pumpkin. I have a can of pumpkin that was meant for something else that I never did. Yeah, it just has a faint smell of tomato.
Supposedly, and Brian says it's not, but supposedly this is a thing in Italy.
I've never heard of it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I've never heard of it. Then again, I haven't actually looked it up. So, there you go. So what are we going to do with this now?
You're gonna let it sit.
Maybe a week. See how it clears out. We'll be back to
Taste it.
taste it. All right, so it has been 7 more days. And as you can see through it. It cleared really, really nicely. It's actually,
It doesn't look like tomato wine. You couldn't.
No, you would never think that was
Yeah.
tomatoes. Okay, let's get the lid off. Maybe. Sounds really good. And put some in some glasses. So it does have ever so slight of a color, but it is super clear. Like I would swear this was clarified in some way.
Yeah, it is crazy clear.
Because this is, oh wow, this is
It's a 12% tomato wine.
not just that, it's only 19 days old.
Wow.
It's not even 3 weeks old. Now I've been told that these need age to be good, so I'm not expecting great things today. But like Derek said, it is 12%.
It does have a bit of a funk on the aroma.
Yeah, it's herbaceous.
It is herbaceous.
That's weird.
It's like if you were making a really herby tomato sauce. Initially, the aroma was off-putting to me, I'll be honest. But
Yeah.
the more I'm smelling it, the more I'm appreciating it.
It's
like
very different. It's very unique.
If you think more culinary rather than
Yeah,
wine.
but people say that this tastes like a Chardonnay after a year.
Okay, it looks like a Chardonnay.
It looks like a Chardonnay already. That time, you see, what I'm doing is I'm clearing out, sniffing, giving it a swirl, clearing out, sniffing, giving it a swirl. That time I got almost a flowery, fruity smell. Yeah, it's starting to come across more like wine.
Yeah, now that you put me in the Chardonnay mindset,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. I can see that.
Notice we are putting off the tasting.
It is funny when these things are suggested, I immediately put them on the list. I have this stupid list of all the things people have requested us make. And Brian, initially, on quite a few of these, were like, no. And I'm like, but it's a thing. And no. And now, here we are.
And we're trying things that we've never tried before. You know, expand your limitations. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
There we go. It tastes like friggin' white wine.
It's very clean on the palate.
It's very dry.
It doesn't have much going on.
But it tastes like a dry white wine.
It's not like after you swallow and let the residuals linger in your mouth that you're like, oh, wait, that was alcohol. Because in the mouth initially, I get zero sensation of alcohol.
I'm going to be honest. I don't like it. I don't like dry white wine. But it tastes like dry white wine. I can appreciate it for what it is.
This is definitely different than what I could have ever expected.
I never in a million years would have thought this would taste like this.
But
I really didn't know what to expect.
like a pasta dish with an oil-based sauce or a broth-based sauce, even like a lemon wine sauce, I feel like this would taste delightful with.
Yeah. I would cook with this easily.
Some seafood dishes, I think this would be great with.
But like if we ever have something that requires dry white wine, even though, see, people say don't cook with wine you wouldn't drink. Okay, I am drinking it. I don't have to like white wine to cook with it.
It's at the very end, after it's been there for a while, I'm getting hints of tomato.
Oh, wow, I don't even get that. What I get is like, did you ever smell tomato leaves? Like the plant itself? Yeah, I'm sure you have.
I have.
The smell of tomato plants. That's kind of a hint of what I get in the flavor all the way at the back. That's the only way that I get tomato at all out of this. This is not bad. For somebody that doesn't like dry white wine, I don't find this to be objectionable.
Yeah. It doesn't have a strong flavor presence. It's very delicate. This is kind of crazy.
Now we have to try more of these crazy things because this is the second one that we've done that we went, wow, this is way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Way better than I thought. All right, but we need to think about numbers now. So on your screen, you should be seeing our scorecard, which goes 1 through 11, because that's right, ours goes to 11. What you don't see is the 0, reserved for things that just absolutely suck. I'm going to go on a limb and give us spoilers on this, say this is not a 0 or an 11.
I really don't know where to put this, to be honest. I'm confused.
I know where I'm going.
I'm confused.
I know where I'm going. I know exactly what score I'm going to give this. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 6.5. Yep. Right smack in the middle of good.
Yeah.
I can't give it great because I don't really like it. And I can't say that it's not good because it is.
It is.
It's actually pretty good.
How are you good?
Yeah.
You make no sense to me.
And that's at 19 days. Imagine what this is going to be like in a year.
You know what this solves right here and right now?
What?
Is tomato fruit? Yes, it is. Because it makes a nice wine.
We used Premier Classique in this, by the way. I want to make note of that because we have a test going on different yeast.
We have had some pretty good luck with Premier Classique.
seems to be one of the good ones. Yep.
That might be our new fave.
Yeah, don't know yet. But hey, you know what we're going to do with this now? This is going to sit for probably a few more months. Then we're going to bottle it. And one of those bottles is going to go away for a year from today when we will be back on our tasting room channel to taste it. But yeah, this is actually pretty decent. If you like white wine, you should try this. Yeah. Seriously, it sounds crazy and weird, but go ahead and do it. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching and have a great day.
Bye-bye.